missed you.
Ah, boy, I missed hearing about your crazy dreams that need help.
Ugh, rejected. That's so sad. Anyway, imagine waking up with your heart racing, but you can't remember why. Okay? Oh, more like you can, but you refuse to want to remember. Okay, that makes sense. No, it doesn't. Anyway, we're moving on. Your body feels drained as if you've just lived through someone else's night. You see, that's exactly what happened to me when I had a dream. No, more like it felt like a warning.
A
Shook me
warning,
to
you
my core. Yeah, it shook me to my core, bro. Like I woke up and I was like, the frick just happened.
think.
Like, what was that? That's not right. So anyway, I got a new studio. If you all can hear cars in the background, I do not apologize because I cannot do anything for that. Anyway, this dream was about a paranormal hunter. Let's call him John Doe because for the life of me, I cannot remember the name that was said. Okay. A
Right.
man who had lost everything, including his family, to a demon named Mimosa. Is that the demon's real name? No. But this wasn't your usual dream. I wasn't just watching it unfold, I was living it. Chained to this hunter, feeling everything he felt, seeing every memory, every bit of pain. When I woke up, I had to ask myself a serious question. Do I still want to become a paranormal investigator? I have yet to answer that question. Dream starts off fine, okay? You would want it to start off good, because it's a dream. You think, oh, nothing bad can happen in dreams.
Right.
So it started innocently enough. Playing hide and seek at a school I knew like the back of my hand. With children, I had no idea who the hell they were, okay?
Wow, so you're just playing hide and seek with strangers. Love that.
Yeah. For some odd reason, it felt like, oh, how I wish I were a child again. I felt like a kid. So we're playing hide and seek, running through the halls, hiding in classrooms under chairs, under desks. Okay, I think the best one to hide
Right.
under is the teacher's desk because they have cover in nearby.
Yeah, for real.
But then everything changed. I think I was the second to last person, right? So it had someone counting before me, and
Right.
so this is essentially the second to last game. And let's just say things took a dark turn, as in quite literally. The lights started flickering. Then they went out, and I'm thinking to myself, "Ah, this is just a dream." Though it's, the school and a very dark hallway. It's giving horror movie vibes, okay? And I may have just jinxed myself because if you're aware that you're dreaming, you don't want to subconsciously say things because then your dream is going to transform into whatever you're thinking of, right?
Right.
One by one, these keep flickering and they buzzed and then they blew out one by one down the hall that I was standing in. The school I knew so well plunged into darkness. That's when the screaming started. The children's screams weren't just normal screams, they were blood curdling screams like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die. Yes.
I don't think that's a one-to-one representation, but we'll roll with it.
Honestly, my mind went to PG, so I was thinking that one girl from Despicable Me. He's so fluffy, I'm gonna die. But, yeah, screams echoed through the hallways, each one sending chills down my spine. And I am black, so I said I gotta get out this shit because I'm not gonna stay around. I'm not gonna stick around to find out what's happening. Okay, I had to
Yeah.
run. I'm booking it as best as I could through the dark. Why is it pitch dark? I don't know because last I checked, it was still daylight outside. Okay, but anyway, dreams don't make any sense, and this is pertinent to this. I have been telling myself that this is a dream. This is a dream. Nothing can hurt me in this dream. So I started running. Everything changed again. I sprinted down the hallways, fingers brushing against the walls just to know where I am because, like I said, it is pitch black for whatever reason I don't know. The school twisted. It morphed, bro. It started to morph how do I
Like Inception? Kind of like Inception.
I was thinking more Jujutsu Kaisen when they went into this
Ah, yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm going? Yeah, like that. It when they
yeah,
entered the house and the house was like, oh my gosh, we're trapped here. And they had to run opposite ways. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
These dogs, bro. I wish it had dogs in my story so I don't have to cut them out, but you know, I don't think I could. So we just bear with it. So anyway, so the school twisted. Like it was no longer the place I remembered, which it clearly wasn't. Everything felt wrong. That pit of dread just grew deeper and deeper in my stomach. And then I saw the light. No, I did not die, but I did see light. Faint rays of the
Mm.
evening sun trickled through shattered windows. Now, I went into this school. It was pristine. It looked like, people still work there, children still go to school there. And at the end of the hallway, when I did see light, it was decrepit and abandoned. Anyway, I ran towards the door, thinking it might be the best way to come out alive, okay? Because I ain't trying to jump through no windows and break my ankle. But just as I reached the entrance, the door swung open. I didn't push it open. I don't remember pushing it open. And that's when I saw him.
Mhm. Him, the
Yes.
Prince of Darkness.
No, no. The screech of the doors behind us, bro,
Mhm.
I wanted to piss myself, okay? It echoed through the eerie, empty hallways as they slammed shut.
It had that bush, that kind of screech,
Well, it didn't sound like a dying old man, but yeah. I didn't know this guy, but somehow I was right there with him. Like, I was tethered to him. We reached his car, and that's when he cursed under his breath. He realized he'd left something behind. Like, he's reaching for his holster. And that's when we both realized shoot, he left his gun somewhere inside the school. Now, that's when I also realized something else. I didn't remember running with him. I didn't remember even choosing to follow. But there I was, stuck with him like an invisible chain linked us together.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think this was the point where it was the first time I've ever witnessed something in second person point of view. I didn't even know that was a thing. I heard about it once when writing because I write stories, okay? But to actually experience
So,
second person view is crazy. What were you gonna ask?
like, exactly, it was like when you're not your POV, but you're like kind of witnessing or experiencing something.
Isn't that like first person view though? How do I explain this?
Okay, so it's like, okay, so like you're in third person teaching the another person's experience. Is that it?
Yes and no. So I was tethered to this guy, okay? Like some kind of parasite.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe I was a leech at that point in time. I honestly, I don't know, bro. Because no one knew of my existence. He did not acknowledge my
The
existence.
leech camera angle is insane.
So
Yeah.
wherever this
You gotta
man,
pattern that. Go to the leech cam. Go to the leech cam.
no, please don't. Anyway, so whenever he moved, involuntarily, I will move, right? So I'm moving at the same time as him.
Mhm.
I'm seeing it through my own eyes. The only thing I'm not doing that is my own, well, other than moving, is feeling my own bloody emotions. All of my emotions was his own. So I'm like, what is this 5D experience? I didn't ask for this. Okay. Anyway, so he looks back at the school after reaching for his holster and he realized, oh my gosh, I dropped my gun somewhere. I'm like, how do you casually drop a gun somewhere? But anyway, and the
I
entrance,
mean, he could have ref, struggling to escape the dark,
anyway, so we, as we're looking at the entrance of the school, we realize that there is this nun standing at the entrance. How the hell this person opened the door without us hearing it? Mullah, okay, I don't know. And but she's standing there in all her
Hmm.
glory, I guess, because she seemed very triumphant that she managed to run us both out of this thing. I say both, but no one know that I was there. So, like, so she runs out.
I yes, leech cam, the ultimate stealth.
Anyway, so she's like, "Oh, you're done already? You're just having fun." And my boy Jhon here is like, "Mimosa, I'm done. Like, I'm done. I just want to go home. I'm done hunting." She's like, "What? You're done hunting?" No. Jhon, you can't be done hunting. That's your whole life. You were born for this. What do you mean you're done? He's like, I just want to go home, spend time with my wife. This ish is not for me. Okay. He didn't say ish, but it is what it is. And I'm just taking in everything. Okay. I have nothing else to do. And I
Right.
start to get this sickening feeling in my stomach. I'm like, something doesn't feel right here. It doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel like my dream. It feels like a dream, but it doesn't feel like my
Mhm.
dream. Just know that I was very delusional in this whole thing. I kept telling myself this is just a dream. We used to be world of Mexican. Anyway, I'm sorry. So in I'm trying for this not to be spooky because I'm sleeping just now. So anyway, they're having this back and forth moment of why are you gonna quit hunting just like that? Like you came here to eradicate me, and he's like, Sistren, shim it, I cannot. Okay, I cannot deal with this anymore. And she's like, oh, that's such a shame that your wife can take you away from me. I thought I was your whole purpose. You wanted to get back at me for what I've done to your family. I would say that she's quite beautiful, though. What are you talking about? Your wife. I understand why you'd want to leave such a lovely, fine
Mm-mm.
entity as me. And I'm like, Mimosa, pat down, okay?
So this haunting spirit nun is referring to her as a fine ass entity. All right, nice.
Yes. Okay. I mean, she's quite the looker, but just don't have her smile at you. Her teeth are not there, bro. Like it's awful. But anyway,
Wow,
and don't
wow.
look too close to
She
her
must. You
eyes.
know what? Never mind. Let me stop right there. Anyways, continue.
Don't look too close in her eyes either.
Jaja.
Yeah, yeah. Like from far away. Okay, you know what? The best way to describe this thing is that she's nice from far, but far from nice. Okay, good. So she's there. She's like, oh.
The render distance effect.
So she's like, oh, your wife's name is Veronica, right? And he says, yeah. And that's when, right? uh, so she's like, oh, your wife's name is Veronica, right? And that's when my stomach sank to my butthole, okay?
Your stomach to your butt. All
It
right.
dropped to my butthole because I'm like, oh my gosh, she killed Veronica, right? That's just me.
Oh,
But
yeah,
he is like, yeah, why? She's like, so you're really gonna give up hunting even after all I've done to you? And he's like, yeah, I've been telling you this, like I'm done. And she's like, even after I do things like these? And she pulls out disclaimer. Okay, if you're squeamish, this is not the story for you. I don't know what you've expected on Madness
yeah.
Monday,
Ooh.
but she she pulled out a severed head of this blonde lady. Okay,
Oh no, no! Please don't tell me the wifey was blonde.
before
Please
the
don't tell
head
me the
could
wife.
have time to turn around fully, he said, yeah, I'm done. She was like, okay, fine. And she put the head back behind her. And I'm like, bro, you can't be this dumb, right? Like I think that's your wife. Me on his shoulder, like a little, you know, leech. But yeah. So trying to talk some sense into him because clearly his cabes are not working. So he- I guess she's like, you'll be back. A hunter always comes back. And he's like, yeah, whatever. He gets into his vehicle and he drives home. He's on his way home. And I'm just holding my breath in anticipation because this dude is looking very, very much unhinged. And I get a flashback that he pulled up to someone's house. Okay, this is where things get really tricky. So try to keep up, okay? Because I wasn't keeping up. I can tell you that.
All right,
So keep in mind, the last present thing that I remember was that we got into his vehicle and he set course to drive home.
right.
In his flashback, we pulled up to this place that he was called out to for a job for a poltergeist infestation, okay? And
Mm-hmm.
he did not check his phone while he was driving. He was trying to be safe, yada, yada, yada. When he got out, he looked at his phone, saw that he had 3 missed calls from his wife. And he was like, okay, well, I wonder if I wonder if she was calling me to wish me good luck like she always does, to be safe, that
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing. Maybe I should call her. I should call her back when I'm done with this job to let her know that everything went well and I'm okay. And he had this nagging feeling that he should go back home. But did he follow his gut instinct? No, he did not. Pabo. Okay, he's an idiot. So he goes in, he sees about the poltergeist. He comes out. He watches his
Right.
phone one more time. He checks the time. The time is 6:43. The sun is setting. It's twilight, right? And I get a glimpse at his screen. It was a picture of his wife and child. This dude has a son. Keep that in mind. He then gets
Right.
into his car. In classic dream format, we end up at his house. Did he start the engine? I did not know. Okay. All I know was that we sat down to go home and poof, we were in front of the house. He
Damn.
walks inside. I told you my main
Mhm.
thing for this whole dream was I kept telling myself that this is a dream. So anyway, he walks inside the house and he's like, Veronica, Veronica. He puts his gun down, right? In
Mhm.
classic Sam and Dean fashion, if you know Supernatural, then you know, right? So,
Yeah, yeah,
and the house is eerily quiet. You know when something is wrong, when a place is too quiet. And he's walking down the halls
yeah.
of his house and he's like, Veronica, Chase, random name for the child. I just can't remember the child's name, okay? we, we already have one, Jhon. So he hears whimpering coming from Chase's room. He's like, Veronica, because it sounds like his wife. He opens the door. Gruesome AF scene, right?
Oh
I hope
no.
you're not eating. I hope you're also not listening to this
No,
at
no, no,
night,
no, no.
okay?
I'm not.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people that's listening to this, okay?
Oh, oh. In that case, have a slushy. It'll be
No,
fun.
don't have a slushy because what I'm about to tell you will make you puke, honestly. So the entire room was covered from head to toe, from roof to ground, okay, in
Hmm.
bodily fluids, intestines, and a lot of other things.
Oh,
Okay, yeah,
oh.
it was a gruesome scene. His head was still attached to his body, keep that in mind, but yet his brain, Chase is dead, is what I'm saying. His brain is outside of his body. Until this day, the people are like, the people that saw about him, what they call them? I can't remember. The people in bogs, right? Those people. They're
Mm.
like, this is quite the phenomenon because we have no idea how the hell his brain exited his cranium and ends up outside because that makes no sense. It was intact. He was missing his
What?
eyeballs, but yet his skull was still intact.
What?
More or less, right? And his brain was outside, which makes no sense.
That is some weird, freaky shit.
Yeah, yeah, that image had stuck with me forever. Okay. So so Veronica is like, I was trying to call you. I was trying to call you. She was here. And now Jhon is like, who is here? That that witch is what she called the nun, okay?
Mm.
That witch was here. She tormented Chase. She locked Chase from me. She locked Chase in his room and he was crying out for me and I couldn't help him. So I called you to come here to do your thing and you weren't here. You weren't answering and yeah, he got berated, okay?
Damn.
And now he has to live with that guilt. Moving on. He's walking out of the son's room feeling like an awful aff father. Understandable. Okay. He's like, damn, I should have picked up. Maybe if I picked up, maybe I should have just followed my gut instinct home. But a hunter's job is to protect those that can't protect themselves. So if he had left the poltergeist in, infestation, we don't know what would have happened to those people, is what he's thinking. But then again,
Yeah.
everything comes at a price, right? And he lost his own son. I'm sorry, I hit my mic. So he lost his own son. As he's walking back out through the corridor, the house is shifting once again. And I'm like, what kind of monster house issue is this? All right. Veronica is nowhere to be seen. We are now hiding behind a wine cabinet. How did we get here? Burga soil. Okay. I do not
Mhm.
know. But we're hiding behind a wine cabinet, looking at his younger self walking down his family's, well, his childhood home. Okay, he's walking down a corridor, and it's leading to a living room. I feel like a creep just peeping over, seeing this young boy mind his own business in his own house. And I'm like, all right, weird. And I'm like, why are we doing this? Why are we stalking a child? And the weirdest part about this, which reminded me that this was indeed a dream, was that his grandfather was also my grandfather.
That is some
My grandfather had died before this happened, okay? So I'm like, yeah, this is definitely a dream. I probably just missed my grandfather. That's why he's here, okay? Taking the place of this dude's grandfather. I don't know.
mhm,
People in history tend to look like other people, but it is what it is. He passes his mom's room, and his mom's room has an entrance to the living room, right? It's like slightly off in the corridor, but like you can still see it from the living room. So he
right.
goes to his mom's room. I think he was like 7 at this time. And he's like, Mom, can I get money to go to the shop, please? And I kid you not, his mom said the most heinous things to this boy that you could, possibly tell a child at that age. She was like, "You
Right.
ungrateful wretch. Why the hell do I need to keep giving you money just to go buy your snacks?" And, right. And she was like, "No, you can't get money." She has never spoken to him like this. The voice that she used was not even hers, okay? It is, we could all tell that something was wrong. But this
Yeah.
boy only heard his mom angry. And he has never heard his mom angry. So poor child didn't even know the difference. And so he wanted to cry. His grandfather heard this. Our grandfather is what I will say, heard this. And he was like, "Oh, don't study her. Your mom, you know how she gets, okay? No, we don't know how she gets, Victor. I don't understand. But anyway, so he says, you know what? Go in my pants pocket in the room. Okay, go in the room, go in my pants pocket, take out my wallet. You could have the rest of the change inside the wallet." And he asked, "Are you sure?" He said, "Yeah." So he goes, tiptoes to reach his grandfather's pants pocket, takes out the wallet, takes out a good amount of money, okay? And he hands his grandfather the wallet because he cannot put it back in the pants pocket for whatever reason.
Mhm.
Vertically challenged, okay? And so he's off. He told his grandfather that he's off to the shop, and he asked his grandfather if he wanted
Right.
anything. Grandfather said no. And he said, "I just want to go to." He said, "Okay." I hate that line. I don't want anyone to tell me that line because this man closed his eyes. Keep that in mind. And presumably went to sleep. Jhon went out. We hid behind the wine cabinet so that Jhon does not see us. Younger Jhon, I mean. I'm like, "Jhon, this is your family's home." Not like Jhon could hear me. But anyway, so Jhon came back. He stepped outside. In a
Mhm.
split second, he came back in. We did not follow Jhon to the shop. When he comes back in, he has a bag full of snacks. He was going to share one with his grandfather. That was the intent. Like I said, I felt everything that this man was feeling at that point in time. So he's remembering
Right.
how he felt, what happened that day. So I'm also remembering, not remembering, knowing what happened. Okay, I'm being informed as we go along. And
Mhm.
he's making his way down the corridor, and it was evening, the same time as, he looked at his phone. That time it was 6:43. Okay, why is that time significant? I don't know. So Jhon is making his little way down the corridor. A little pep in his step because he got snacks. He's going to share one with his
Right.
grandfather, and boom, he passes his mom's door. It slowly creaks open, and he hears his mom's voice say, "Jhon, is that you? I'm sorry about earlier." Some demon slayer type, right? So it's like, so Jhon is like, "Mom?" Now, Jhon looks back at his grandfather, who's presumably sleeping. Okay. We find out later that he was
Right.
not sleeping, but
Oh, he was dead.
he was sleeping eternally. Okay. Right. So Jhon walks into his mom's room, and Lord help us all, because there was a scene similar to his son's own. Okay. Just
Right.
the only thing is that I guess Mimosa has a quote unquote soft spot for children. So she did not decapitate this boy's head, but she did decapitate his mom's head, right?
Wow.
Yeah. And, well, blood and gore all over the room. And Jhon
Yeah.
rightfully dropped his freaking bag of snacks on the floor. And he
Man, not the
runs
snacks.
outside to go wake his grandfather and tell his grandfather what he's seen. But before he could make it to his grandfather, he's screaming, by the way, okay? Like he's petrified. And
Right.
before he could make it to his grandfather, this dark mass, okay, this dark shadow appeared in front of him with glowing yellow eyes and says, "Oh, she hid you from me well, little hunter. You're quite big. I didn't expect you to be this big." And Jhon dang near pissed himself, okay? And he said, "Screw this. My grandfather, all this commotion is not up. I don't want to stay here." Jhon was probably black. Okay.
That is crazy.
I think he had some type of black bone in his body because this man was not black.
So wait. You've been attached to John this whole time and you don't know what he is? You just know this is John.
He's Mac. He Max. He's mixed.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
He's not black, but he's not white. So I can't say. Listen, recently I made the mistake of calling someone that looked Indian, and he's like, I'm actually Spanish. So yeah.
What?
No, we're not gonna go into that tangent. But anyway, so Jhon is running out of the house, rightfully so. He
Mhm.
skedaddles, and that's when Mimosa noticed us behind the wine cabinet. So we also started booking it out with Little John. Okay. Once all of us was outside, Little John disappeared. Poof, no more. Right? And Jhon
Mhm.
forced me to turn around because Jhon turned around full 180, okay, to look at the house. It was his house, his present day house.
Mhm.
So within all this flashback, this man has been reliving everything while he was actually at his own house.
Wow.
And his house was up in flames, as was his childhood home. Really the same house? No, but his childhood home went up in flames. His present house went up in flames. And that's when it hit him. Veronica is dead. And I'm like, no shit, Babu. I could have told you that.
Yeah.
So he's defeated. He's lost everything. He lost his mom to this demon. He lost his grandfather to life. Okay. He
Well, at least the Gramps went out in a natural causes.
we don't know. We don't know. He lost his son and his wife to this demon as well. And he takes a exasperated breath, looks at his phone. The time is 6 o'clock. Okay.
Yeah.
And a tear falls on his screen. And that's when I realized that Jhon was crying. Was I crying? No, Jhon was crying. That was the only time that my emotions were my own. Like I wasn't forced to cry, but I was forced to feel fear and all those other things. While he stared down at his wife and son, well, his now deceased wife and son on his lock screen, and he threw his phone in the bin. And that's where I leave you. That was my weirdest dream that I had.
that that is sure something because you went from Saw and then you had Leech Cam. The Leech Cam version of Saw is crazy. Not to mention you missed the ride home because the frame rate was dropping, so things wasn't going well. And then
There was one thing that I did not mention because I'm writing this. There's a lot of people
mhm,
that I told that this I warned
mhm.
them. This was a dream. Every single person asked me two things. What movie is this? And the next question was, does it have more? Because I did end up writing it out because I'm like, that dream was too vivid for me to not write down. Okay.
Right.
So, for this podcast, I'll call it the devil's smile because Mimosa never stopped smiling with her crooked yellow teeth. Okay. And
Oh my
um, when she spoke to Jhon, when she spoke to anyone else, she did not give a hoot. Okay. I guess she had a thing for Jhon. I'm not too sure.
Lord, so she's a pedophile because she had a thing for this boy from since he was a baby. Lord.
I don't know. Maybe it's just like to be creepy. I'm not sure. Okay. Anyway, so um, she did say something, and it's the hunter's motto. And the hunter's motto goes, "A hunter's knife is a hunter's life, and to you would be the death of me. But one wrong move means the end for you, and so this is our destiny." I've heard this twice in this dream, and I woke up with this in my head, which is why I
Oh my.
still ask myself, do I really, really still want to be a paranormal investigator? Jhon left some wise words for me at the end of the dream, or anyone, and he
Uh-huh.
says if anyone decides to become a hunter, they should know that they should not have any attachments, because whatever attachments you have, you're going to lose it all, whether it being family, friends, pets,
Ah,
you're going to lose it all,
okay, okay.
because it's a very dangerous line of work. You're dealing with things seen and unseen, and yeah, it's just hard on everyone around you, especially when you
Yeah,
can't explain what's happening. So
yeah.
yeah, he heard it once when Mosa showed up the first time when he was running out of his childhood home. That's when she said the hunter's motto. The
Oh my,
second
oh
time was when he was running out of the school, which was the beginning for me, right?
yeah, yeah.
That's the second time that she said it. He heard it numerous times in his life, obviously, because he did become a hunter. But yeah, that's the story of John Doe and his thing, his
His
life.
stalker spirit nun. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So what did you think? Was that the weirdest dream that I had, or no?
Yeah, because it escalated pretty fast, and then you had the whole weird, second person experience, and then
Leech camp.
just the over excessive amount of gore that was in the dream as well.
Yeah,
I mean, so yeah, that's definitely weird. That's definitely the weirdest thing I've really dream about.
yeah, yeah. I had one more, but maybe I'll save it for next time. It's not gory as this one, but this one definitely topped that one, so that's why I had to tell you. Because I'm sick of you people asking me, "Oh, why are your dreams so weird?" And I'm like, "Bro, those dreams are very tame to what I witnessed and I went through." Okay, yeah. This was the first one that I had a full on experience that wasn't even my own.
That's
But that is all
crazy.
the time we have for this episode of Mad Hatters International podcast. I hope that you enjoyed this session of Madness Monday. Yes, it is a bit shorter than the last two episodes that we had. I think the last two episodes were like an hour long, but yeah.
But it's still the same in terms of leaving people in confusion for stuff that they've heard. Yes.
Let us know if this fits the Madness Monday theme or maybe not. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below.
Let us know if you were, sat there puzzled about what a leech cam is. Let us know in the
Oh my gosh,
comments.
if you've made it this far, please let us know if you'd like to be a leech cam or not. Okay. Um, um, right. If you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple or Amazon Music, please give it 5 stars. And if you're listening to this on YouTube, be sure to hit the like and maybe subscribe if you want to hear more of my weird dreams. And we'll see you in Wonderland the next time we jump down that rabbit hole.
Bye bye.